MLB season is upon us. More injuries mount for star quarterbacks throughout the NFL, while their backups are rendered speechless during interviews with the press. Plus, a thoughtful debate on what makes a great football player. All that and more right here on Coast Knows Ball.
Yeah, guys, the Dodgers are winning.
No!
Fuck the Dodgers.
I was talking to a... Are we recording already?
Yes.
All right, well...
You could say
Fuck
that...
everyone. I'm not going to welcome anyone. I'm not going to welcome anyone. I'm just going to speak. So...
I was going to start the episode anyway.
This episode of Coast to Coast is brought to you by Dr. Pepper Cherry. Try Dr. Pepper Cherry now, your local grocery store.
I just wanted to quickly say, I was talking to a buddy of mine, a Tigers fan, a Detroit sports fan, and we were...
Oh, I thought you meant Clemson.
Yeah, sure. And we were talking about Skubal, and he mentioned that he might very probably is not going to be a Tiger next year. And then I told him, watch the Dodgers win the World Series again this year and then sign Skubal next year.
Oh,
like, who the fuck
God.
is going to watch baseball if this happens?
Nobody. That's
who the fuck
why.
is watching baseball?
That is why the next lockout is going to happen. We might not get a season of baseball because of the salary cap. I guarantee you, the league will have to do the salary cap, or there will be no 2027 season. I'm almost certain of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so that ass when I say this. Like, nobody wants to watch the sport as this happens. Like, I'm watching the Dodgers right now. They just scored 2 more runs. They walked Freddie Freeman, and then Teoscar Hernandez on the first pitch hits a double. Who the fuck wants to see this? And then Skubal is a Dodger next year. I don't know. It's going to be frustrating. Highest payroll in baseball, and yeah, whatever. I've had this conversation many times. I'm sick of it. But anyways... Everyone, welcome to Coast,
Yeah.
Coast Knows Ball.
Okay.
And we indeed do know ball, so spread the word.
Oh, yeah.
Far and wide, so that others gain ball knowledge as well, because in the current NFL world, that seems to be lacking. But not here in Coast to Coast.
What other sports podcast do you listen to where they are giving you the Chicago Bears as their eliminator pick'em over the Raiders? What other show is that confident in their knowing of ball? That just goes to show you how legendary we are over here.
Now tell the listeners what happened after
that. Nothing happened.
We will talk about.
Won.
We will recap all of that.
The Bears won.
They did.
Yeah.
They did indeed. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. There we go, guys. Scripted intro. That was the spoiler. The thing that I was talking about.
Let's go. Good one.
Intro.
That was good. Good one.
All right. Well, we'll see how I cut it up, but that was fun.
That just goes to show to everyone we have no scripts for this. It's just
No scripts.
Pure ball knowledge.
That is the
pure ball knowledge.
That is the biggest script that we've ever written for this
I
show.
sit my ass on this chair. Jacob sits his head on this chair. He has a steak next to him. Just sit here and talk ball like men.
Yep.
Nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
There we go, lovely.
Without a doubt, without a question.
No disrespect to women, by the way. Woman can no ball.
No, absolutely.
Didn't mean to say
Yes, absolutely.
Just wanted
100%.
to clarify that.
We get it.
Hey,
Yes,
just
sir,
to go
indeed.
to show there's no script for this, off the wall, my dud of the week, last week's Atlanta Falcons. I'm still mad about them losing to the Panthers.
Making us believe in the Panthers again. No,
Watch them beat the fuck out of the Dolphins. Let's get to the games. Right, let's get to the games. And
so
then we'll
I've
talk about
got
it next week.
for us. I've got the recap of the games right here, and we've got, of course, for you guys, we have got our tier list for this week. Now, last week, this was how it looked. This is our week 4 tier list from last week. We had superheroes, supervillains, and Super Bowls, of course, at the top tier. That has not changed. The Aston Martin tier, which is our A tier. We have Bougie. And then we have Cucaracha, or Cockroach, for the C tier. Might Be Doomed is our D tier from last week. And then Fucked ? As our F tier. This week, in honor of spooky season, I tried to theme them a little bit more, at least most of them, because we have a couple that are staying the same throughout the whole season. I don't care. but the rest of them are themed a little bit for the occasion. We've got superheroes,
Okay.
supervillains, super healthy Super Bowl. Because injuries are
lovely.
plaguing almost every team right now. If you're not injured, you're probably doing pretty well, you know? So I thought I'd throw that in there. It's still S. We have Alive and Well in the A tier, so just a hair below Super Bowl. Then we have Bougie as usual in our B tier. Crypt Keepers is our C tier. They are the
That's a good one. That's a very good
mediocre
one.
teams. They're the mediocre teams, but they're
But
there.
man, they be gatekeeping. But they're gatekeeping, man.
And you know what they're gatekeeping? They're gatekeeping the dead men walking from getting any higher on this
Dead
tier
man
list. Okay,
walking,
that's
yep.
our D
There's
tier.
a clear
Dead men
gap
walking.
there. There's a clear gap. Yep, there's a clear gap there.
And then perhaps the saddest, most melancholic part of horror or the spooky season in general is being forgotten after you're dead. And that's what our F tier is. 4 games already forgot.
Yep.
Just no point. Just let's just get them out of the
Shout
way.
out. Shout out Justin Fields, who gave a presser saying there's more important things to life than football. That's when you know. That's when you know your season is cooked.
Hang it up, buddy. Hang it up. But yeah, kicking it
Shout
off.
out to Cam Ward for saying, "Keep it real. This team is ass."
And that's exactly where I wanted to start. We got the Tennessee Titans in 4 games already forgot.
They're forgotten.
Wait, that should
They're
be the
forgotten.
name of the tier. That should be the name of the bottom tier. I'm gonna keep it real. This team is ass.
If there was an F in there, I would allow that amendment. But unfortunately not. Next time there's a
That's
quote.
fair. That's fair.
If he said fucking, I would change it 100%. This team fucking
Bet.
ass, bro.
Yeah,
This
there
team's
you
fucking ass.
next week he's gonna say it.
Yeah. Only a couple more weeks can he stand this bullshit that the Tennessee Titans
Speaking of this team's fucking ass, let's throw the Saints down there with them.
but clearly ahead of the Titans. You know,
No,
they
it's tough.
gave the Bills a headache for a few quarters,
yeah.
and they've been playing a lot tighter football throughout each week. So credit to the Saints. You know, you're not the
This-
worst team in the NFL.
Until we lose to the Giants this week.
Well, who knows? You know, anything can happen in football, right? Is there anyone else we
Dude,
want?
we're the favorites. It makes no sense.
Well, we'll talk about it. Maybe one of us has a hot take for that week.
Okay.
But anyone else that we want to add to the F tier here? I mean, you could
Fucking
put
Jets,
the
bro.
Jets up for contention. I think that's a fair one.
No, contention. No, it has to be.
Yeah,
You can put the Steelers there too, because Cameron's a big fan of them.
yeah.
Um,
You know,
could-
Cleveland.
Loki, the
perhaps,
Bengals. Honestly, I don't care that the Bengals
The
have 2
Bengals-
wins. The Bengals belong there.
They have been really, really awful. I can totally see that, and it's not just a Jake
Yeah,
Browning
I mean-
problem either. He's been bad, but it is just this team has
No.
given up. They've checked out totally. Zach Taylor should
Mm-hmm.
be fired. He should have been fired years ago. I've been on that train for a long time.
Yes.
So welcome aboard,
Yes.
Bengals fans. But yeah, I'm cool with them. You know, 4th worst team in the NFL is probably apt.
I maybe the Browns.
I think you could argue the Browns as well.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this bottom tier for sure.
The Dylan
I said
Gabriel
maybe.
Browns
I said
now.
maybe because out of those teams, I think they have the biggest argument of being a dead man walking, but I don't think so.
I think it's very similar to some of the takes that we had going into the year about teams like the Browns or the Giants, right? Although the Giants defense has been a total letdown. The Browns, like the way they keep themselves in games is through defensive performance. If they can just outscore an opponent by scoring 14 points like they did against the Packers, right? They scored 13. Then they could just they'll just win the football game because their defense is that stifling and dominant. So
they have a condition, right? They have an actual condition.
yeah, they do have a win condition, and I'm frankly excited to see Dylan Gabriel play. I think he could have some success, not only in this offense, but in this first week against the Vikings, where they're I think the scheme that Kevin Stefanski runs in Cleveland plays well against man coverage opponents, which I think the Vikings might run quite a bit in this game. Like we said, a cover 0 has been a big problem.
My
right?
second dud of the week.
Second dud
My
of the week.
second dud of the week is Shadur Sanders for how he handled himself in
Yep.
the interview.
That and,
Because
yeah,
dog, just because Joe Flacco's going below Dylan Gabriel doesn't mean you're getting a promotion, buddy. I'm gonna act like a mime because I'm immature. Maybe that's why you were a 5th-round pick.
Yep.
Maybe that's why you're still the 3rd-string quarterback.
right.
You ever think that maybe you can just be a normal fucking person, dude?
Yeah, and it's doubly ironic as well because he's the one who declined to go to the Ravens, get drafted by them
Go to
during
Baltimore.
the draft, and now this would have been a starting opportunity for him in Baltimore potentially, right? Who knows if he would beat out Cooper Rush for that spot? But there's there's a real conversation to be had there where he's like, you could have been starting for the Ravens instead right now, but here you are complaining, and then now you're stuck on the Browns.
Coached by John Harbaugh. Like, how do you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you decline that?
So yeah, 100%. Like, I understand the mindset of, you know, whatever you say to the media, they're gonna spin it against you. Especially if you're a high profile player, most likely. But man, you're like on the ropes already in your NFL career. It's time to start acting like an adult. So yeah, I agree with you, Jacob, on that one. Really tough look. I don't know if he might never play in the NFL, and I would not be shocked because one, the talent really isn't there, and number two, the attitude isn't there either.
It clearly isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about Dead Men
doesn't
Walking?
seem like he's
Speaking
ready,
of
but
the Ravens, though,
we'll see.
Dead Men
I was
Walking.
gonna say, speaking of the Ravens, Dead Men Walking.
Yep. 100%. You know, they're not totally out of it yet, but it's looking really grim. I was going to say, you know, if Lamar was healthy and still playing, you know, it sucks that he's going to be out for a few weeks because the next month of football for them, I think is pretty winnable. They can go 3-1 easily if Lamar Jackson is playing quarterback for the Ravens over the next month. They've got this week
Correct.
the let me pull them up. Where's the Raven? Oh, there it is. They've got the Texans at home. They've got the Rams at home. Then they have a bye week for the Bears at home. And then the fourth game is Thursday Night Football at the Dolphins. So, like, you could argue, like, you know, they could easily go 3-1 with that slate if Lamar Jackson's playing. But if Cooper Rush is going to be the quarterback for 3 of those games and the 3 toughest ones, you know, between the first 3 there and not the Dolphins. Sorry, Roofy.
Yep.
You know, it's just...
No,
They could
it's tough.
legitimately be 1-4, 1-5, 1-6.
They could be instead of 3-3.
I was talking to my dad about it today. A lot of teams, a lot of people had Baltimore winning the Super Bowl this year. You know, one of those fringe teams
I
ready
had
to
them
maybe win a
winning the
ring.
Super Bowl this year.
Right,
the
yeah.
first year I finally picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. This is what fucking happened.
And they're collapsing. Like, they actually might miss the playoffs. It's really looking like that.
I will say though, out of morbid, you know, evilness, it is nice to see some other fan base have to deal with the injury bug as well as us. Finally, you know, some other perennial playoff team that should be there, you know, should win a playoff game, is now going to have their season ruined by injuries, and it's not just the 49ers or the Bengals. Welcome, Ravens fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally am upset that the Steelers are going to win the division and they have no competition.
You don't think the Browns
And
can turn
we
it
are
around?
So,
What if Dylan Gabriel is
I did
just
not
like lights out?
expect to be. I did not expect to be 4 weeks into the NFL season and have a full known certainty that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be winning the AFC North, and that is very, very painful for me to.
okay, I don't think it's over yet for that regard, but it's looking very grim for my Bills hate watch because the Ravens are one of those teams that can actually just beat the Bills in the playoffs. And if they don't get there, then it's kind of like it's just the Chiefs, you know, for me. So, listen, the most important thing for me right now in this season is for the Bills not to win a fucking Super Bowl. That's the only thing that matters. So the Ravens better get their asses in there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, honestly, it's looking like nobody in the AFC is going to be able to compete with the Bills.
That's my thought as well. Do we want to just put them up there? I think they're the number 1 team in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, even though the Saints gave them some
Absolutely.
issues and whatever, they still won by 2 scores. They're one of the few teams that hasn't been totally destroyed by injuries. They have a few, of course. Every team has a few, but you know, they're not marred like the Ravens or the Bengals or the 49ers or you know, even a plethora of other guys here, the Buccaneers, right? You know, so they're healthy and they're winning, and that's all it takes in the NFL, really. Yeah, so great candidate to be number one team in the NFL. What do we think about the NFC side, though? What do we think is the number one team for the NFC here?
I
I'm
mean, it still
slamming the
has to be the
Lions.
Eagles.
I'm slamming the Lions though.
I could hear arguments for both, really. I think the Eagles, they're winning football games without even doing anything, really, and that's kind of scary for the rest of the league. It is annoying that they're winning by doing nothing. I'll tell you that for sure. I'm not a fan of doing nothing and winning. But if they are, you have to, you know, you have to just accept that it's happening and move on with your life, you know. But the Lions though, since week 1 have been a dominant force on offense, and their defense has really played a solid football as well. So it seems like they're not missing Aaron Glenn really at all, and Ben Johnson, you know. I think I'm
That is
gonna
true.
lean Eagles.
I mean, Dan Campbell.
and we can put the
It's definitely got to be
Lions
Eagles.
in
Still. The
alive and
Lions
well.
got pretty clearly dominated by the Packers, who just tied with the Cowboys and lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
The reason why I say the Lions is, to me, they're just playing more sound football. They're more dominant football. I think when it goes down to it, I trust them to make an extra play on offense. I trust Goff way more than I trust
If the
Hurts.
Eagles and Lions play right now in Detroit, I'm picking the Eagles to win.
Listen, that's fair. I'm
It-
not
it's
saying
tough.
right now. Right now, the Eagles are, you know, I'm saying for a season outlook, if I had to bet on one to win a Super Bowl, it'd still be the Lions, my preseason prediction. So I'm sticking with that.
It's a fine prediction, 100%. They're playing like it right now, and really, I think very
Well,
little separates the two. It's just I think the brand of football. So the Lions have been dominant, and they have been beating up on opponents. It's not like it's been the best competition per se.
And the Eagles just find
the
ways.
The Eagles have played two tough opponents
find
in
ways.
back-to-back weeks, and you know they found a way against the Rams, and they let the Bucks come back a little bit there, but they controlled the game the whole time. You know.
Yeah,
Those are
but
two
it
tough
didn't really
opponents.
feel like it. Like your quarterback is completing 0 passes in the second half, and you're still just kind
That
of chilling.
that is what I mean by like they didn't need to do anything and they still won the football
No,
game.
not at all.
But they came out with a 31-6 lead. You know that's
Yeah.
why he's not throwing the football. He's also not throwing the football because they don't trust him to throw the football. But I mean, both things can be true, right? I think
Yeah.
Eagles edge them out right now. It's 51-49. These teams could easily slip or flip sides rather next
Yeah.
week and
I'm okay with
beyond. How about someone joining the Ravens in Dead Men Walking? How about a couple
You're
teams here
lagging a bit, I
actually?
think, Anthony.
While I was crapping out, I was talking about a couple more teams in Dead Men Walking. I think the Panthers and the Raiders are very apt
Those are
additions to
fair.
that. You could even argue, I think, in the bottom tier for both of these teams, but that's a crowded bottom tier, right? And I think that there's at least some
Yeah.
positives that we can take from either of these teams over the last few weeks. You could say the same for the Browns too. Frankly, that's why I think that one's arguable. But I'm good
Yeah.
with this here. I think Panthers probably below the Raiders, playing worse defense.
I would
Um,
agree. They also have just like two really, really, really bad showings.
Mhm.
Raiders don't have those.
Where do we put Miami? Because I think it's at the top of Deadman Walking or bottom of Crypt Keepers.
I
think
think
that Miami has to be at the top of Dead Man Walking.
yeah, maybe not at the top, depending on who else we add, but near the top for sure. Not good enough to be in Crypt Keepers. They put in a couple of good performances the past couple weeks. Of course, the loss to the Bills and then the win against the Jets on extra rest, both primetime games. They've played a lot better. But you know that Tyreek Hill injury is pretty brutal as well. We are factoring in everything, right? And so
And it's not just the injury, but even the win itself against the Jets, it could have been cleaner. Against a better team, they might have lost that game. The offense kind of slowed down towards the end. So I think it's definitely fair to put them and Deadman walking.
Right. I mean, look at where we have the Jets, and look at where we've had the Jets pretty much all season outside
Right,
of the
correct.
first week. Right. They were in fucked last week, the fourth worst team.
Yo, correct. No, listen, don't make no mistake. This game was one incredible Jack Jones fumble from being a game, you know? So, yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's move the Giants in here as
I
well.
kinda
Oh
wanna
wait,
talk
wait,
about
wait,
the
wait,
Chargers.
wait! I gotta give my stud of the week real quick. Shout
Sure.
out Garrett Wilson. That catch you made for that touchdown saved the parlay and won me 350. So
Nice.
thank you, bro.
Fantastic.
you
It was
really
a
had
catch.
to carry that. You really had to carry the 50+ yards. His
It
Justin
was a
Fields was not helping
catch.
you out.
It was a catch, but he didn't have it at first. He had it at the second instance.
I don't
And
care. He went up and pulled it in.
No,
He
no,
was a dog
I'm
for
telling
that.
you, it was a catch. I'm telling you, it was a catch. But had they seen it was at the second instance, they would have reviewed it. It was very close, like very, very close to not being a catch. But it was a catch. It was phenomenal. But anyways,
You said you wanted to
I
want to
talk about the Chargers.
Okay.
Yes, because absolutely nobody's talking about the fact they just lost to the fucking Giants.
This is the Chargers possess my dud of the week, and that's Greg Roman. What an awful game plan.
Nobody's
against the bad
talking about it.
defense. Awful game plan. I think the Goat House is the only people talking about the game plan and how bad it was going into this game. A lot of people blaming Herbert for the turnovers.
Only people.
And yeah, it wasn't pretty, but he made more than enough throws, I think, to stay competitive in this game. It was just way too obvious when they were passing, and they just didn't run enough. We talked about
Hampton
in
had a
the
good
Discord,
game. Hampton had a good game.
Yeah, in the Discord we talked about the rush where he just breaks to the outside and just uses his speed to get down
He was so fast.
quickly. But the other run that is indicative of Hampton, and it showcases something else about Hampton's game that's so
He
elite as
carried
well.
10 men.
It was a fucking
Carried 10 men.
he got hit like 6 yards, 6 yards downfield. He carried people for like 18 extra.
No, it wasn't.
incredible
He
balance.
literally got. They wrapped him up at the
Incredible
line
balance.
of scrimmage, Anthony. He
Oh,
was.
I thought he
wrapped
got
up
a
at the
couple
line of
yards at
scrimmage.
least.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well,
No, incredible balance.
okay. Maybe I'm totally misremembering, but I don't think he was wrapped up. He might have gotten hit, but again, could be totally.
Well, the
misremembering.
defender wrapped his arms, but then slipped off.
Yeah,
Incredible balance.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, just
Anyways, I think Bougie.
and the thing
Top
is
of
too, Herbert is still obviously in the MVP conversation for the year. This game doesn't really sway my perspective on that, but it does sway my perspective on their preparedness against more frisky football teams, I think. And frankly, they were very close to losing against the Broncos, right? The Chiefs game in week 1 was still a 1-score game, and the Chiefs aren't quite the Chiefs yet. Maybe they are starting to be right now, but certainly not in week 1. And the Raiders played them pretty close for most of that game too. They had a hard time scoring. So maybe we just kind of
They're not putting teams away.
yeah, maybe we overrated the Chargers a little bit going into week 4. And then, the narrative, and we talked about the narrative about having Jackson Dart start week 4 against the Chargers defense. And I think we all came out pretty much agreeing for the most part with each other on our take. But I mean, it ends up being the right decision. He didn't make many plays, but he made enough.
The guy's in
and-
the NFL. Who cares who he's playing against? He has to play against
Exactly,
those defenses at some point. Right?
exactly.
He's gonna have to show up.
And
who cares?
And as a coach, like one of the only times I've ever agreed with Brian Daboll on any decision. But as a coach, you need to be thinking about everybody on the roster, not just the quarterback. Everybody.
Exactly.
And if everybody else is trying to win, arguable, right? But if everyone else is trying to win,
Right.
you need to put the best possible team out there. And if Russell Wilson is not a part of that
and if
best
you believe
possible
it's
team,
Dart, then you put in Dart. It's that simple.
and guess what? They fucking won.
It's really
And
that
it's
simple.
not because of Dart
Yeah.
necessarily, but I think it helps.
No, but you played a good game.
Yes.
You played a good game.
Absolutely, and I want to put them ahead of the Ravens actually in Dead Men Walking. I think they have a little bit more
If they
optimism.
had they
over the next
played
month.
today, I probably would have picked the Giants, especially in New York. With Cooper Rush, right?
right?
To be very
Yeah,
clear.
as they are now.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Anyone else that we want to add in
I
Dead
think
Men Walking?
I kind of Dead Man Walking. Maybe I'm not loving what I'm seeing from Arizona, man.
Me neither. It's just
Especially
is
with the
it
Trey Benson injury now.
yeah, that's a tough one, man. You know, I thought look, Trey Benson stock up, super talented player. Like now he's gonna get a full workload, and then that happens. It's
Yep.
like that fucking
Yep.
horrible. I think I hear you, and I think they're ahead of the
Who is
Dolphins.
their fill-in now?
Isn't it
Isn't it
DeMarcado?
Garando? DeMarcado, not
I thought-
Garando. Yeah,
Yeah,
DeMarcado.
DeMarcado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they should pick up. They should go grab my boy, Israel Abanikanda, dude. Recently cut.
He's done,
Come
man.
on.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
done.
yeah.
But you know, you're right. And I think in week 4 on Thursday, that was Kyler's worst game. No, definitely Kyler's worst game on the season so far. He looked a lot more under duress throughout the whole thing, and maybe part of it is not having Connor around, but I think Trey Benson isn't the worst backup in the world by any means, right? He's a very solid player as well. So I don't know what it
Right.
is, but they're in kind of a funk. And maybe it's again a little bit harsh to put them here, but you know I could see them really skidding down the hill over the next stretch.
Just not a team I trust too much.
Okay.
I kind of want to talk about the Seahawks. Their defense have impressed me a lot.
Yeah.
And Darnold is proving that Minnesota made the wrong decision, I think, so far this year. Minnesota, obviously, you know, McCarthy's injured, but Minnesota
I
will
don't
be in
know
a
if
much
I
better
agree
shape.
with Riz's take on the whole off-season situation.
What did he say exactly?
So Riz is pissed off about the Vikings trusting a rookie, like a first-year starting quarterback, to lead a team
I saw that,
has
yep.
Super Bowl expectations.
I saw that.
I get that it's not necessarily fair to expect Super Bowl from a guy making his first season starting, but we've also seen situations where a guy making his first year starting has gotten to the Super Bowl and gotten in that situation. And I think if you're trading up and drafting a guy as high as they did take JJ McCarthy, I see no issue in trusting him to be the one to lead your team a year after drafting him.
I hear you.
I
I
think
don't
it's a
that's
fair.
bad.
Go ahead, Vitor.
Go ahead, Anthony.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
All right. I think it's a fair thing to say if that's your assessment in the offseason. And from what I recall, that's what Riz said in the offseason. And that's if that's your evaluation of McCarthy, Riz's personal evaluation. Obviously, the reason why Minnesota did what they did is because they thought McCarthy could be that guy. So then it's a game of trust and evaluation, right? In hindsight, if you know, I'm now changing the goalpost here. Now, if Riz is only saying this in hindsight, then I just disagree with it. Like, you know, it's easy to say now, but that's not what Riz does. I'm not saying that's what he did, but
The
I
thing is,
I don't agree with the decision either.
No,
Yeah.
continue. Finish.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say I didn't agree with the decision either.
So the thing is though that we've seen this. We've seen a quarterback in their first year be very impressive. We've never seen Super Bowl, and we've only seen AFC Championship or NFC Championship a couple of times, and that's not just in their
Correct.
rookie year, but first year starting as well. But the issue comes when the opposite end has occurred more often, I would argue, and more recently as well. And I, you know, can speak from experience with the 49ers here. You know, they Trey Lance, third overall pick, had been injured, right? Raw prospect. They still view him as a fit, whatever. But then, you know, the Brock Purdy, the third string quarterback, comes in and looks fantastic in those 7 games that he played, including the postseason, right?
Correct.
And you make that evaluation, you make that judgment call that, like, you know, again, who provides the ceiling that we want? And ultimately, the
The guy who's
49ers
showing it.
made the correct decision in, you know, riding with Brock Purdy, giving him that extension, everything like that, and moving on from Trey Lance, despite the sunk cost, right? It was a third overall pick that you traded 2 other first rounders and a third rounder to get. You know, that's a huge loss, and that's a tough pill to swallow. But you just have to move on at some point. And I think that the 49ers organization in general has had an issue of sunk costs. The whole idea of the sunk cost, anyways, that it's a fallacious argument, right? That's why it's called the sunk cost fallacy. just because you're investing a lot of time and money into a thing doesn't mean that you should just keep going with that thing if it's producing the wrong results, right? And we don't have
Exactly.
the sample
Right.
size for JJ McCarthy to produce the wrong results. We only have 2 games essentially throughout his whole NFL career. But you had a guy who took you 14-3 last season. It's not like they were a 10-7 scrappy playoff team. They were a really
And you
high-powered
weren't winning in spite of
offense.
him.
Exactly. You know, and there were a couple of really tough games.
He
at
was
the
winning
end
you
there.
games.
There were a couple of really tough games at the end there, including the game against the the
Right.
Rams rather. But you went
Right.
And
14
I
and
was
3.
gonna say for that Rams game, they probably should have been 15-2. My bad.
Yeah. there you go.
Why did you mute your mic? Unmute it. What was that?
And then, yeah,
fart or
and then act,
something?
and then act like something happened. Caught him in the act, man. Come on, Jacob.
There's a blind dog right outside the spaceship.
Come on, man.
Oh, all right. Well, let's not dwell
My
on that
bad.
any further, I suppose. But no, you're right. Like they could have been 15-2. You know, if not for a bad performance from Sam Darnold in Week 18, right? But again, you lost 3 games. It's not like you lost 7. You lost 3, and they weren't certain of their decision. That's why it took them there was this huge, intense debate about it all, throughout the off season, and even after the decision was made, they were still very contentious. And so yeah, I don't know. I was certainly saying ride with McCarthy before because I do think McCarthy is a solid player. I think he can become a solid player. I was high on him out of college, but man, those first 2 games were pretty brutal to watch too.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But
100%.
anyways, all of this to say, Minnesota, what? Crypt Keepers?
Yeah.
I could say Dead Men Walking though too, really. But
It's
you guys
around
are
there.
both in Crypt Keepers, so we'll set it there. But man, I mean, they have not looked good. They beat up on a really
No.
bad Bengals team, but
I agree.
yeah, last week was pretty rough. So we'll see. Crypt Keepers is okay. They're 2-2 after all. All right.
How about
Falcons
your
can join them
Niners?
there. Oh, okay.
I'm in for the Falcons joining him. I think they're pretty much about the
Falcons there,
same.
yeah, ahead of them.
You could swap them either way. I think is reasonable.
And I started this conversation about Darnold with the Seahawks, and I forgot to place him. I think,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm in for the bottom of Alive and Well.
I don't even know if it needs to be the bottom. That defense is like top 2 in the league right now.
It's good. Yeah, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Really fucking good. Okay, cool.
You're like that
Um,
kid in the car eating his thing, and she's like, "Do you like your food?" He's like, "Fucking good. It's fucking good."
Right here. Okay. How about, I was gonna say your Niners, Anthony, very injured.
Yeah. I do have a small
Brock is
rant.
not playing again.
Small rant time with the Niners if we're gonna go that route. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. It's so tough. They're going to be in Crypt Keepers as well, I think. It wasn't a very good game on Sunday from any unit. Any unit. Not a very good game. I don't care what the narrative is by fans on Twitter. None of the units played well, okay, on Sunday. It's just a fact of the matter. Special teams gave up a
Oh, I
touchdown.
mean, the special teams is just to be expected.
Yeah. You cleaned house on the special team staff and it's still this bad? You brought in players that were supposed to be special teams guys like Siran Neal. And they are the people that are creating issues on special teams. I can't fathom why this is happening. We had good luck with kickers for a while. We had Phil Dawson and David Akers right before him, and then Robbie Gold, of course, during that
And then Robbie Gold.
golden era. But outside of the kickers, even during that time, the special teams has always been bad. Going back to the fucking NFC Championship game against the Giants, when Hamilton, I think it was Hamilton, he fucking muffed the punt. It was the same. It was like the exact same thing that we saw by Ronnie Bell in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. He muffed the punt, and the other team recovered, and the game was over. Like it was. The woes on special teams have been around for decades at this point for the 49ers. Expected, absolutely. The defensive line, the pass
What's
rush.
worse, your guys' special teams woes or the dropped interception against the Rams?
Oh. You know what? I'm gonna say the special teams, the Ronnie Bell muffed punt, because we were there
for forever.
and it's but we were there as far as that specific play. We were in the Super Bowl. We would still have to play another game if Tart catches that ball. But we still had the lead when Tart dropped the interception too. Like, anyway, a lot of heartbreak in the past few years. But the defense, though, that pass rush, 0 sacks. Okay, you can get away with 0 sacks. 0 quarterback hits. If is this really how we're going to play football without Nick Bosa? 0 quarterback hits. The Jacksonville Jaguars were averaging over 4 yards per carry as well. I think close to 6, actually. You're not winning football games if you can't stop the run and rush the passer. You just can't. And they're down so many players. It's not just Bosa, but it's Renardo Green too, who didn't play on Sunday. Now you can't press man anymore either at the cornerback spot because he's out, So everything about the game planning just was a huge mishap for us. And not because they weren't prepared. It's because they didn't have the right people in charge. And again, you're seeing the depth issues of this team, for not hitting on draft picks for several years now, outside of the last 1 or 2 maybe, you'd like to be hopeful about. But besides that, no depth because we haven't hit on draft picks. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Offensively.
Yeah, Vernon Broughton already a bust. Oh wait, no, you didn't get Vernon Broughton. You got Alfred Collins.
Yeah, I've heard his name called once so far. Great job, Alfred. Really high on you out of college, but you're not putting it together right now. The offense though, Brock Purdy was not good on Sunday. Plain and simple, was not good. Was it all his fault? Absolutely not. 6 drops by the receivers. 6. 3 of them by Kendrick Bourne. 2 of them were checkdowns to Kendrick Bourne. Catch the ball.
Yep.
One of the interceptions was a little bit high, but it was a really great pass, great decision. If McCaffrey catches the ball, it's a touchdown. Instead, he tips it up and it goes into Devin Lloyd's hands, who is behind him. Now McCaffrey can't catch either. What is happening? And the rushing attack can't average 4 yards per carry. It's one of the least efficient rushing attacks in the NFL. Yet we have our coach and GM acting like it's not an issue, acting like this offensive line is good. Trent Williams gave up the most pressures on Sunday. Trent Williams. Nobody is right with this team, and I can't believe we're 3-1. It's crazy.
Yeah, age is getting to Trent, and it sucks to say that because
it's not just age.
When we started this podcast,
It's not just age.
It's not just age?
No. We got to make this very clear. It is not just age with him. It is him not preparing in the offseason, not training with the team in the offseason, sitting around doing maybe nothing, perhaps, throughout the entire offseason. Hey, get up off your ass and train with the team.
He's a very lazy player.
Especially in your final years. Train with the team.
Yeah, he's extremely mentally checked out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing fortunately, we cannot say about Turner Armstead, Jacob.
Yeah. Ron Armstead is the gold standard of old-ass left
tackle.
tackle.
Fuck yeah. Now, listen, it's very sad to see this because I remember when we started this podcast, and I remember saying this very vividly. Trent Williams is a top 2 player in this league. I said this out of my mouth.
Yeah, but that was years ago.
So I hate to see it. Yeah, no, I know, but I hate to see this. Regardless, I agree with the placement in Creep Keepers. And a placement that Jacob is probably going to disagree with is I think Chiefs in Alive and Well.
Oh, that's too high.
Nah, they're bougie.
They've played well for 2 weeks, but that's still too high for a 2-2 team that has flashed. I think bougie behind the Chargers.
They also just
Okay.
looked really, really bad in the first 2 weeks.
They did.
Okay, fair enough.
And think about where we have the Ravens now and the Giants now as well. Those are the two teams you beat. Like, yeah, you've looked good, but let's get a true test to see if the Chiefs are really back here, and that could happen. Who do they have this week? The Jaguars. The Jaguars are playing well. I think they belong in top of bougie, bottom of alive and well. Defense has been fantastic. They're
About
creating
11 well.
turnovers. They're okay. I'm still concerned. Trevor Lawrence is figuring some things out, but I'm still concerned. He's not consistent. He only threw for 150 yards against the 49ers last week. Think about this. How
Travis
bad
Etienne is a fucking dog.
how bad the 49ers played last week on all sides of the ball. And they were a
Bad.
special teams touchdown for
Very bad.
winning the game anyway. That's the state of the 49ers right now. 2024 all over again, it seems. They were wearing new clothes for 3 weeks, and we've unveiled the real culprit. Anyway, sorry.
It'll take too long, right?
Dude,
Okay.
who's behind the mask?
Exactly. That's
The
exactly it.
2024 49ers.
Yeah. All right.
I think
Let's-
we need some more teams in bougie because
Yeah.
I want to say the Colts in Alive and Well. So I don't know if you guys agree.
I think both the Colts and Rams
Yeah,
belong
that's
there.
fine.
Right,
Probably like
which is
that.
exactly what I wanted to lead to. Those two I think are alive and well, but we need some more teams in bougie
Yes.
to justify that.
I think the Commanders and the Commanders are in Crypt Keepers for sure.
Okay.
The
Okay, I agree with that.
Texans are
Tampa?
still in Dead Men Walking. I'm not convinced by the Titans game. Tampa, I think, is bougie now,
I
and
agree.
the only reason is because they're also decimated with injuries. I wouldn't take that loss. I wouldn't care too much about
Yes.
the Eagles' loss if it wasn't like this could be a sign of more to come. But yeah, bougie is good there. The Cowboys, I think, are toward the bottom of Crypt Keepers too. They've played well offensively for the most part. Just the defense
Yeah.
cannot stop anybody. A
Except
chicken
for the
would run
Eagles.
loose.
I will say one thing about Tampa is that game kind of went how I expected it to go. Not the second half and how the Eagles won, but in the sense that if Tampa keeps doing this shit, and it's not going to be sustainable. Like, I'm going to pound this until they start winning games.
See that
early
the
on.
first half where they were losing 31-6 is more applicable to the take of that game or how they're going to look the rest of the season. I don't agree with that at all.
No, not look.
'Cause they didn't look good in the
but
first half
It's not
either.
sustainable to win games.
No, it's not.
No, they didn't.
It's not. The teams that won a bunch
Yeah.
of one
Yeah,
score
anyways,
possession games all lost this week pretty much. The 49ers is another one.
Yep.
Yeah, the Cowboys,
The
another
Saints,
one.
they win a ton of one possession games.
Yeah. All right. Broncos, I want to put in bougie for sure. And I think they're better than the Chiefs right now.
I disagree. If Chiefs play the Broncos right now and anywhere, I
I'm
would
taking the
slam the Chiefs to
Broncos.
win that
I'm
game.
taking the Broncos 100% if they played the Chiefs right now.
I don't like the offense. I really don't like the offense.
Look, the run
Yeah,
game
I'm
is getting
also-
going. J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, I know it was the Bengals. But they looked like they're gelling some things together. They're getting going here.
I don't
They
fall
could
for it.
be they could be a paper tiger 100%. I've
Bo Nix
actually heard that.
looks bad.
Where did I hear that? Someone else referred to the Broncos as a paper tiger recently. Where did I hear that? Was that in the Goat House predictions video?
I've
It might-
never heard the term
It might have
paper
been.
tiger before.
Really? Because I think, yeah, it's a. Do you know what it means?
I mean, obviously it means like menacing without meaning.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're a tiger. You're supposed to be scary, but you're actually made of paper. You're nothing. But
Yeah.
Right.
so I've heard that used as the Broncos, I just don't know. They could be, but I like the way that they're playing right now, just as a whole cohesive unit. And they did the same thing against the Chargers 2 weeks ago. They played that game very close. They're just a couple of clutch plays short. The defense, though, is improving a lot after playing the Colts and even the Titans in week 1, improving a lot. And so I do like the direction of the team. But if you guys both have the Chiefs ahead, we can move them down.
Oh no, I definitely have the Broncos ahead of the Chiefs.
Okay.
I mean, of course you do.
Fuck off.
Okay.
Bears. I don't know, bottom bougie.
No, they're not good enough to be in bougie yet. They're in Crypt Keepers, probably ahead of the Niners right
No,
now.
that's fair. I'm overrating them. That's fair.
Packers. Are they down
They're
in
better than
bougie
Tampa
now?
right now, right?
Are they in bougie still though? Right now, like that was another tough outing. The offense played really well.
I have them ahead of the Chargers.
I think they're ahead of Tampa too right now, just because of how injured Tampa is.
I'm okay with that.
The defense did not come to
They're
play.
definitely above Tampa.
Yeah, they're both Tampa. New England, Crypt Keepers.
Yeah, over the Bears.
I don't know where over the Bears. Sure.
Yeah.
And the Steelers, I mean, we're talking about the AFC North champions here, so surely they're going to be placed very high, right?
AFC North champs in bougie. And behind the Chargers, probably.
AFC North
behind the Chargers. Behind the Chargers.
AFC North champs while also having a future record of 7-10.
Oh, that would be so funny if that actually happened.
It's supposed to be the best division of football too. So
I know. That's crazy. But see, look, we're still skewing
them and the NFC North.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the two toughest divisions. Kind of mid. But we'll see. Still very early. Teams are still figuring out their identity.
Guys.
Yes.
Game update. Okay.
Yeah,
the Dodgers are winning by 8-3. Okay, but hold on. So Dodgers are winning by 8-3. Bases loaded, no outs.
My score says 8-4 now with 1 out.
Man, fuck off.
See that?
So what? There's a fly ball.
That's the proximity
So there's
right
sack
there.
fly.
I'm so close to LA. I get the
I'm
quicker.
watching the sack fly.
Oh,
I
you're
just saw the
watching
sack
it.
fly.
Okay, that's probably why.
Now I'm watching it. So yeah, I just saw the sack fly. So yeah, 8-4. One on first, one on second, and yeah, 1 out.
Man, I wish baseball existed as a sport. We have a really fun topic, right? We could talk about we could
Right.
we
Too
could
bad
give
baseball
a
doesn't exist.
yeah, exactly. We can give a brief rundown of that at the end. I think that could be fun, just like who we think is going to win the World Series and stuff. All right, so top tier here: Super Bowl, superheroes, supervillains, super healthy Super Bowl. We got the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. In Alive and Well, we got the Lions, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Jaguars, and the Colts. In Bougie, we've got the Packers, the Buccaneers, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. In Crypt Keepers, we've got the Patriots, the Bears, the 49ers, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Commanders, and the Cowboys. Then in Dead Men Walking, we've got the Texans, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Ravens, the Raiders, and the Panthers. And then last, and certainly least, we've got 4 games already forgot.
And
The Cleveland Browns, the Bengals, the Jets, the Saints, and the Titans. And that rounds out our Week 4 tier list.
Goated.
It just pains me to know that the Saints are going to find a way to get like the number 5 overall pick. So I'm going to have to settle with the Bo Nix of the 2026 quarterback class and just know that for whatever we get, we're going to have to draft another quarterback in 5 years.
Yeah.
Real quick, because I did not mention them before. My studs of the week, I've got Devin Lloyd as one of the studs of the week, responsible for, I believe, 2 turnovers, perhaps could be credited for a third as well out of the 4 that the Jaguars forced last week. Played fantastic football. He's been playing fantastic football, so is that whole defense. Cam Scatterbo is my other one. How to turn the vibes around for a team, I think is exactly the type of
Yep.
brand of football Cam Scadabo's playing. So it's nice to see there. My duds, Greg Roman, I mentioned, and I believe Vitor and I share the other ones. So I will let you go ahead.
Yeah, so my stud is fucking Darren Waller because I don't understand how you barely practice in the offseason after not playing for God knows how long. And then you come back and you have an incredible catch over Sauce in the back of the end zone to score a touchdown. Then you have another touchdown. Was very impressive. And he definitely silenced a lot of Dolphins fans.
I could
including
catch over
myself and
Sauce,
my
though.
dad. Fair. So forget. You know what? Darren Waller,
Not
not a
if he's
stud.
holding you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
And
that's true.
he always is, isn't he?
Well, he's holding
Uh,
Anthony's fucking internet cord right now. That's what's
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Because that
Don't
boy's
make me unplug
smiling
it.
from year to year. You see
Oh
that?
no, it happened again. Fuck.
Dude's gonna see this in the editing and he's gonna be like, "That's funny." He's gonna laugh at that.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to
Uh,
see it.
I don't know if I should say my dud or wait for
Come
him.
on.
Go
I
ahead
can
and
say
say your
it.
dud, dude. Yeah,
I'll
fuck it,
say
you can
and
edit
I'll,
it in.
and then I'll tell him once he comes back. But my did is Adonai Mitchell. Cannot go unnoticed, bro. Cannot go unnoticed because
Oh, he's a bust. We know it.
it's not just that.
That was my.
He looks like it.
Dud as well.
He's gonna have more opportunities to prove otherwise. But how do you
No,
make
he
a play
won't.
like that to really put yourself on the map?
Yep. There.
Anthony, while you were away, I was just explaining why Adonai Mitchell was my dud. And
Yeah,
that needs much
that was
explaining, but,
exactly
yeah.
who I had as well. So
Yeah, it couldn't go unnoticed, so I had to say it.
again, a lot of duds from last week. Could have picked anybody, but that was a special.
So, what did Adonai Mitchell do specifically? Because I didn't see what happened.
You're lying.
Huh?
What?
Let me pull it up.
Oh wow! Yeah, please do. I gave this whole rant to Jacob, and he didn't understand it. So yeah, please show us.
Oh, you ad. Okay, my ad blocker worked. Jesus Christ!
I was gonna say, don't let
Yes.
that audio play.
What I don't
It's unbelievable.
what I don't understand as well is why are you turning around? Like your concentration is not on the football. You know what I mean? Like that. It's
He's
not
literally
just.
taunting. He's clearly just taunting.
I see. I don't know if it's taunting or just straight up just horrible play because he's trying to look back. Honestly, it kind of looks like he's looking for someone who's going to tackle him, and he just loses the football as he turns around. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The Reds have the bases loaded.
Yeah, well, nothing's going to happen.
Well, if Frito hits a grand slam here, it's tied.
That would be nice, but it's not going to happen. We all know the Dodgers. It is Alex Vesia. He kind of sucks. Anyway,
Actually, this will
it's
be
an
the
0-2
exact
count.
thing to happen. So what's gonna happen is he's gonna hit a grand slam tie. They're gonna have this really cool big walk off win. And everyone's gonna be like, "Woo! We're going to elimination game with the Dodgers." And then the elimination game is gonna be the Dodgers winning 18-1.
Could be. Could be. All right. Let's do our rapid fire NFL picks here. Again, same format as always. Who you think's winning?
Yep.
Something to look out for. It could be a player, it could be a thing that occurs, whatever. Or bold take, anything like that. Thursday night football, my 49ers in LA against the Rams, you know, the Levi South, if you will. But man, they are
Yep.
totally banged up. I'm still picking the Niners. I'm a homer, ride or die, right? But I mean, if the Rams don't win this game, that is kind of embarrassing.
So, I mean, the Niners kind of have the Rams number here, and Riz said it, and Anthony's going to fucking hate that I'm going to say this, but it could be to the benefit of the Niners that Mac Jones is starting.
Okay. When healthy, that's obviously a bad take. But if Brock is injured, and he's obviously, the new story, by the way, coming out today is that his toe injury is worse than previously thought. What is up with this medical staff, man? What is going on? Like, 1 year is an anomaly, 2 years is a coincidence, 3 years and beyond is a pattern. Why has nothing changed with this medical staff, with the trainers? Nothing has changed. And we roll these same people out that they're clearly incompetent at their jobs. They gave Brock a really short timetable before. He obviously was still hurt. He played hurt. He said just as much yesterday during his presser. If they were playing on Tuesday, he would not have played. Why are we bringing him back on the field then? Like, oh, it drives me nuts. So, no, I'm with you. It might be better that Mac is starting this game because Brock is hurt and he's not capable of playing. Anyway, continue.
Right. Regardless, I'm gonna be or not regardless, but in light of that, I'm gonna be picking the Niners here.
Wow.
They've just like I said, they've had the Niners number, or they've had the Rams number. They are the better coach team in my opinion. I think they have better coaching than Sean McVay. And I just think they're going to go out there and play a solid run game. They're going to give Christian McCaffrey the ball 30 times. And you know what? That can be successful for a week or two. And I think that could be to their benefit that they're going to rely on their most talented player. So, yeah, give me the Niners to win in a close game here. Like 23-20.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess I'm the only one picking the Rams playing at home against a injury-filled team.
In spirit, I'm
And
picking the
the Rams
Rams,
are playing good.
but I'm not picking the Niners.
No, I hear you. I hear you. No, it's the same thing with me. I'm picking the Dolphins every single week. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking the Rams here, and Kyron Williams has been on a tear kind of. I'm confident in him having a good game here against the Niners. I don't think the Rams offense wants to do too much. I don't think they want to open themselves to mistakes, so I'd expect them to run the ball a lot. And that's why I'm picking Karim in this one. I think the Rams win by a full possession.
The stat right now is that if you score more than 23 points on the Rams, you're very likely to win. Like the last however many losses that the Rams have had over the last couple years, every single one has come to a team that scored more than 23 points. And if they're very good when the opponent scores under 23. So if the Niners can hit that magic number, who knows what happens. But I am certainly not expecting that by any means. They have...
Right.
You guys know the receiving core that they're rolling out on Thursday?
No Ricky Pearsall, no Jennings.
Kendrick
Bourne.
Bourne. Kendrick Bourne is the number one. The guy who dropped
Jesus.
3 passes on Sunday. Demarcus Robinson is the receiver 2, who was supposed to be a nice, versatile weapon for this offense, was non-existent on Sunday in his first game back. Number 3, Russell Gage. Remember Russell Gage?
Oh my goodness.
those are the
We
3
love Russell
receivers.
Gage.
Marcus Valdez-Scantling is receiver 4.
Those are 4 wide receiver 4s, man, that you have.
The receiver 5 is Sky Moore. Those are the 5 receivers that they're rolling with on Thursday.
It's not pretty.
They traded for Sky Moore. They clearly believe in him.
Yeah.
If you want Devon Vele from the Saints, you can trade us a 4th-round pick, okay?
Yeah. We traded Sky Moore for his special teams ability, and he's been dog shit for it as well. So great job, Sky Moore. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that. They got out of the inning. Shame, shame, shame. Okay.
They did.
London game. The Vikings were playing in Ireland last week. Now they're in London against the Cleveland Browns. Hot take Central Time. I'm taking
Cleveland Steamers.
Cleveland Browns in London. Now, I said this going into the year that you'd be stupid to not pick the Vikings in this one because of the back-to-back Europe games is very advantageous for the team that does it. But I have a feeling about this one. I have a feeling about this rookie quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, coming in against a defense that he should match up fairly well against, at least the Browns offense will. And the Vikings with Wentz have been pretty rough on offense. So, that's my bold take. Let's hear it, guys.
It's a game that smells upset. I mean, yeah, it's a game like, well, okay, the Vikings should win and get back on track, yada yada. But it's not a good matchup whatsoever for the Vikings offense, and then that's when things get ugly very, very fast. When it's a defensive game, and then the Browns defense is probably just better, right? So I walked in here picking the Vikings, but I'm kind of talking myself out of it, and maybe you did as well. So I'm going with the Browns here, but it might change. But going with the Browns.
Let's make it a triple dog pick'em for the Cleveland
Wow.
Steamers.
Jesus
this week.
Christ.
And I'm pretty sure that all three of us going into the year were like, you don't pick against the team that's played twice in Europe back to back.
I agreed with you when you said it. Yeah.
Crazy times we're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch the Vikings drop 30 in the first half, and then we just lose all credibility.
It would be what happens, and you know what? I'm here for the
Yeah.
I'm here for the TikTok traffic.
Oh yeah.
Give it to me, baby.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Okay. Sunday morning slate. Yeah, because the West Coast is the best coast. We got the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. Jacob, let's hear it.
Give me the Giants to go in there and dog walk the New Orleans Saint.
Somebody check on my guy. Somebody check on my guy.
Oh man, bad shellfish over
Listen,
there.
they're playing a New York team. They're playing a New York team. It's a valid mix-up. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Regardless, I'm going with the Giants. I think Jackson Dart is going to have a good start against the New Orleans fart defense, and give me the Giants defense to turn the ball over 3 times on Spencer Rattler.
Wow. Vitor.
Yeah.
This Jacob guy's a moron. Because this Jacob guy goes against his own team. I don't care about your first pick overall, Jacob.
Oh, the principles.
Don't give a
I
shit.
do.
I don't give a shit.
I picked
But-
the Saints every week last week. I can
But-
take a year off.
But you know who does give a shit about your first overall pick? Cam Scatterbo. He's running over this defense. bro. Give me the Giants.
All
Yeah,
right.
Cam Scatterbo's a G. He's going to help us out.
This is a toss-up game for me, but I am going to be lone wolfing the Saints in this one. I think this one, I'm feeling upset here. It's definitely an upset if the Saints win. Don't get it twisted, but I think this is one of
The
the
Saints are
winnable
the
games.
favorite.
Really? Is it by more
Yeah.
than 3 or?
Let me look.
Imagine how bad your team has to be for you to call it an upset by beating the Giants at home.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
This fucking earbud still won't disconnect.
No, the Giants would be the favorite if it wasn't. If it was a neutral site game, the Giants would be the favorite.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm taking the Saints here. It feels like a game that's very winnable on their schedule. They don't have many of them, so they have to capitalize on this one. They haven't looked, they've been very bad. They're a very bad football team, but they have not looked as bad as really anybody expected. So I'm looking for them to make a couple of clutch plays here, play close enough to keep it a 1-score game and take the lead toward the end of the game. We'll see. Again, toss up 50-50. Could be changing my pick as we get closer. All right. Sunday morning as well, the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Jets. 1-3 or 1-2-1 rather versus 0-4 in this matchup. Let's hear it.
I'm picking the Cowboys. It's a very Cowboys game to lose, for sure. It's that typical game to lose. But I love what I've been seeing from Javonte Williams. And this Jets defense doesn't look all that good. HN had a pretty good time with them. So I think Javonte will as well. Give me the Cowboys.
The Cowboys are definitely winning this game. They're taking care of business for sure.
Yeah, taking care of business indeed. It shouldn't be close, but the defense has been Swiss cheese, so it could very well be close. I'm looking at Javonte Williams as well. Since he's joined the Cowboys, it was tough because I was really high on him, just did not pan out in Denver. Injuries was a big part of it, but he's running really
Same.
inspired football right now, so love to see it. All right, the Denver Broncos at the Philadelphia Eagles, another interleague matchup here. Broncos a little bit on a hot streak, but really nobody's hotter in the NFL than the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's hear it, guys.
Yeah, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. 1, because fuck the Broncos. But 2, it's
Okay.
because, let's be honest, the Eagles are 20-0 in their last 20 starts. They're at home. They're the more talented team. The Broncos have been playing lesser than the quality of football that we expect from them. This is just a gimme pick at this point. If you don't pick the Eagles, you're just trying to be different, or you got a matchup that you like. And if you have a matchup that you like, newsflash, the Eagles player is better, unless it's Patrick Surtain. So it doesn't fucking matter. The
Okay.
Eagles are winning this game.
Okay.
With that being said, I am more than confident Anthony's picking the Broncos here. But
All right, well, fine. We're gonna segue into it like that. I am picking the Broncos, baby. Let's ride. Obviously,
fucking knew it, man.
That's right.
obviously
I
a
fucking
clear
knew it.
upset pick, and 92% of the time the Eagles are gonna win this football game. But I've got a feeling, baby. Let's go, Vitor.
You got the matchup. You like the matchup.
No, not. There's no matchup. I have a feeling. There's a difference.
That's
Well,
fair,
I
that's
am
fair.
picking the Eagles. I'm not as radical as Jacob here, but I'm pretty confident in picking the Eagles here. They just find a way. They just know how to play. Really, they just know what they're doing. It feels like they're always in control. And yeah, I don't like Bo Nix one bit. Pretty confident here.
Bo Nix
Regardless,
is Mac Jones.
the game, one of two things needs to happen in this game for it to be hilarious. Either the Eagles win 50-3, okay, and then you guys are laughing about my Broncos pick all the way to next year, or the Broncos win in a really tight one, and then we get all the TikTok impressions and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I become an oracle
I
of
actually think the
sorts.
Eagles are gonna win tight. Although
I think it'll be a
yeah.
close game. But yeah.
Dodgers eliminate the Reds. Fuck this game.
Shocker.
Fuck Dodgers. Yep. Yeah. Yada yada.
All right, next up, the Miami Dolphins at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers really stunk it up last week, whereas the Dolphins got their first win of the season. Vitor, let's hear it.
No Tyreek Hill. It was a brutal injury. To see.
It's
and
basically the Nick Chubb injury, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Surgery went really well. Apparently, we'll see how he returns. Point being is he's extremely important to this team, and now the fact is we just don't have him. So my player to watch here is pretty obvious. Jalen Waddle, he's gonna have to step up. He's gonna have to be the wide receiver one he was drafted to be. And the games that Tyreek has been out, Waddle has constantly shown up.
Why is
so I
he so
expect him to show up.
fast?
He's very fast. Yes, and the more touches he gets, the better he gets. So I expect him to have a good game here. HN as well. I think Miami is going to win this one.
Jacob, are you doing it?
I'm gonna be taking the Carolina Panthers here.
Man, fuck this kid, bro.
No, I'm just kidding. Give me the Dolphins.
Oh,
The Dolphins are so clearly winning this game. They're the better team, dude. I don't know what to say. They're just the better team. The Panthers just got their booties clapped by the Patriots. Like, spread wide open by the
Alright.
Patriots.
It was horrible. It was a horrible
It
game.
was.
But listen, any given Sunday, they did the same thing to Atlanta. I don't
The
really
game-
look at that.
the game was so
If
bad.
they do that to y'all, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
It was such a
So
bad
am I.
loss that the Patriots took Drake May out early, so I didn't hit his passing yards line. I needed 11 more yards, and I would have won $60 on a
Yeah.
$2 bet. I was so upset.
God damn it.
They won so bad. That's why. Look,
Now you should reach out. You should reach out to Mike Vrabel. Like, you cost me $60.
yeah,
You owe
I
me
should be one of
$60.
those people,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. All right. I'm taking the Dolphins as well, but I think this is going to be a really tight one. There is certainly a recipe for the Panthers to win this one here, and it's
yeah.
run the football. I think that's a huge part of it. The Dolphins have had a really hard time stopping the run to start the year so far, and they also have maybe the worst pressure rate in the NFL going through the first 4
Which
weeks
is
too.
unbelievable. If you consider the front seven that we're supposed to have. It's probably
It's
the most
rough.
upsetting thing about this team right now. It's very
rough.
upsetting.
And you know,
Weaver better figure it out.
I said a couple
They
weeks
should be better
ago
than this.
when the Falcon, you know, when they were playing the Falcons and inevitably lost, you know, a Bryce Young under duress is a Bryce Young that will create, you know, put himself into
Yep.
danger and cause turnovers to happen. But if he has
Yep.
if he stays clean on this field and has a clean game,
Yeah.
the Panthers can
Yeah.
not just win but run away with it. But I think
No.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I might change this one though before the game.
But I will say that this front seven is supposed to be performing way better. So I do expect them to get better as the year goes on. Maybe there's a game for them to start rolling. Phillips is getting his pressures. He's not quite hitting it there. And speaking of the Dolphins, I forgot to mention my stud of the week earlier. I only said the dud, and that would be Patrick Ball because he has been phenomenal all year so far,
The
especially in
Houston
pass pro.
tackle?
Yes.
Was he Houston?
Yes, he
Houston.
was.
He's been playing very good, and that's why I mentioned Teron Armstead earlier, Jacob, because he clearly has had an impact on Patrick Ball. So, yeah, shout out Patrick
Yeah,
Ball.
because I remember Paul being really, really raw coming out of college.
Super raw.
Yeah, so we
but
needed
very
to harness that.
Huge,
and
huge guy.
Teron, he's massive. He's massive, and he moves very well. And I think Teron taught him a lot of shit for sure. So yeah, that's it for my Dolphins.
Very nice, very nice. All right, next up, we've got the Lamarless Ravens at home against the Houston Texans. Really, really tough defense that they're going against here in Houston, but again, a really inept offense that only came alive, kind of, against the Tennessee Titans with the Texans and Stroud and co. Man, this is such a tough game to pick because
It's a very
of all
tough
the
game.
injuries that the Ravens are dealing with, and including their star quarterback, including Nnamdi Madubuike and the defensive line. Brutal stuff, and the defense isn't playing well regardless. I am going to be taking the Texans for those reasons. Totally can see the Ravens still winning this football game because I don't think the Texans are very good, especially on offense. Defense was lights out last week. Again, 0 points allowed against the lowly Titans, though. But yeah, give me them by a field goal or something. I'm looking for Stroud to just get consistent here. Get another consistent game under your belt so we can stop calling you trash.
I do not see the Ravens going 1-4. I think this is a game that, with preparation, having Cooper be settled in, it just feels like a Derrick Henry game. 200 plus scrimmage yards, and also I think I'm expecting a lot of blitzes from the Ravens side. Kyle Hamilton, I think, is going to be going up on Stroud, so I think defense has to be more aggressive to create some openings, to score. Because I obviously I was exaggerating on 200 yards on Derrick Henry. This defense is very good, but I do expect Derrick Henry to be moving the ball and actually giving his offense a chance to do something, and not just relying purely on the defense. So I think with a proper game plan, the Ravens can do something here, but it's gonna be hard, even against a team that I haven't really trusted on, being the Texans.
Yeah, I'm gonna be riding with the Ravens here. Like you said, they just can't be a 1-5 team. Or a 1-4 team. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where they're just they're too good of a roster. They're at home in this game. I get it's Cooper Rush starting, but Cooper Rush has proved in the past that he can play well. It's not like he's a bad backup. So I'm going to be riding with them. The Texans have looked like straight dog poop this year. So
But again,
you need to wait.
not the defense. And
No.
when the most important player of your team is out and it's such a stark decline, yeah, Cooper Rush can play. We've seen him before in the NFL and whatnot. But that is a huge gap, right? And against a really solid defense, I think both running backs can have a really solid day in this one because again, the Ravens defense is not playing well. And they have a lot of injuries too on that defensive side. Like I said with Madubuike, that's a huge loss up the middle there. So Woody Marks could be another player to watch for me as well. He played well last week in his opportunities, and he's going to get even more volume this week, I think.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
He's
see.
going to have to. I mean, they don't really have anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. This is the final Yeah, the final morning slate game, we got the Raiders at the Colts. I'll start this one off. I'm taking the Colts here. The Raiders just aren't playing very clean football. They're not playing 4 quarters of solid football. Geno Smith is a turnover machine. He has not looked good at all this year, really. So yeah, I think the Colts, after a tough loss last
Can't
week,
believe they got a third round pick for him.
yeah, yeah. Colts a tough loss last week that they felt like they could have definitely won that game. But they were still competitive in that ball game, and so I think that loss is less of an indictment on their resume as some people might be making out to be. I'm not too sure actually what the temperature is on the
100%.
Colts, but they look like just a solid football team, whereas the Raiders do not. So give me the Colts.
I think there's still definitely a top quartile team in the NFL. I'm very confident on that. Just playing very sound football. Daniel Jones is still playing good football. Yeah, he had 2 turnovers. He still had a fine game, I think, and he wasn't the main reason why they lost that game. I think they were still within one and shot themselves in the foot a few times. So yeah, definitely expect the Colts to win this one here.
Yeah,
Shout out
this is
Daniel
the Colts
Jones.
for sure. Definitely the better team. Not even close.
All right. Now to the afternoon slate, we got the Tennessee Titans against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals on a bit of an extended break after the Thursday night game. I don't think we need to stick too long on this one. The Cardinals are going to win this one. They're going to get back in the W column.
This is my survivor pick. I'm taking the Cardinals.
That's a good choice. If I didn't pick them week one, I would be
I
fighting you for
I've
that.
been
Right.
I've predicted a few upsets by picking the Titans in the past few weeks here, and it's kind of killing my record because I was an idiot. My record's still not horrible, but those games kind of are bringing it down, and I'm not gonna give them another chance. I would be idiotic to do so, and then watch them win it just because
This
of
would
that.
be the week they'd win.
Nah,
100%.
yep, this would be the one. And honestly, Arizona, I talked about it, right? I put them in the Crypt Walkers or Crypt Keepers because I don't trust them that much. Running game is something that's not established, right? With no Trey Benson, no James Conner. So maybe, maybe they can really establish the run, and then Kyler's making some mistakes, and then suddenly Kim Ward has a good game. Suddenly Tennessee wins, right? But still going with Arizona here. Tennessee's just too much of a mess.
Yeah, you're right. There is a recipe here for Tennessee to be successful, but I am never picking them. I'm not picking them in a single game this
No.
season. It's just a mistake to do so because they're not showing up. Their coach is completely checked out. He should have been fired a long time ago. Don't know what they're doing, wasting their time. It's just gonna like the argument with the rookie quarterbacks about matchups. I hate the quarterback argument about coaches is what I love. I don't care if the interim coach isn't going to be a quarterback guy or whatever. If you are having incompetence surround your quarterback, that is going to stunt their development way more than an interim head coach without that influence. You know what I mean? So just get the job done. Get rid of his ass. He's done. There's no point in wasting your time even further. I digress.
Right.
Next up, the Washington Commanders at the Los Angeles Chargers. Both teams losing last week, and both a little bit underwhelming for different reasons, of course. Jacob, let's hear it.
I'm going to be taking the LA Chargers here. I've been a big believer in them all season. I'm going to continue to ride with them, as I do expect them to win the difficult AFC West. I do think they just have overall the better team right now. As long as Jaden Daniels is out, I think that Washington is going to continue to struggle on offense here. Not that they struggled too much last week, but I think against the more quality defenses, I think they might struggle a little bit more to move the ball. I don't think their run defense or their rushing offense is going to be as effective, and I think that they might struggle to pass the ball since they won't be able to lean on the run game as much, leading the Chargers to victory if they can continue to play good on defense.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, but I also have another reason the Chargers are going to win this game here, and it's because if they're going to be so pass heavy, it's really nice that they're going to be going against a really, really easy pass defense here. The Commanders have been beat through the air a lot so far this season, whereas the run defense last season was the main concern. So it feels like a different phase of that defense is failing them right now. And the Chargers, Justin Herbert has been MVP caliber because they've been throwing the ball, putting it in his hands, and he's going to do the same thing again this week.
Yeah, I was kind of going where you said there about passing offense, and I think that's where Chargers dominate this game, and that's also why I'm picking Quentin Johnson. Kind of, I know it's not a comeback player of the year, but if there was a most improved award, he kind of would be a big nomination for that because he's looks like he figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he looks good, and looks like the wide receiver one over there. So, yeah, I think Johnson has a good game here, and I picked the Chargers.
Okay. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals. This is my survivor pick of the week. I am taking the Lions here. The Bengals look totally out of sorts. They look totally checked out. I'm looking for them to fire sale at the trade deadline because it's probably what's going to happen regardless. The Lions here, though, are rolling. The offense is borderline unstoppable right now. So this is the safest pick of the week, I think.
Yeah, I don't have to talk about this game. And yeah, it's the Lions. Gibbs 150 plus. Amara 150 plus. Yeah.
I don't think Amon-Ra's hitting 150.
Good. The most likely would be Williams, of course. But
Yeah.
I doubt any of them are hitting 150. I bet their starters are checked out by the fourth quarter.
Honestly, yeah, you're right.
But they haven't really done that in the past though. Even if they've put up 50, they still like play.
That is
most
true.
of the
Campbell
game.
keeps the guys in,
Yeah.
and they just play it out. Yeah.
They don't ever really stop. So I don't know if I see that actually. But Jacob, of course you're picking the Lions as well, but is there any bold take here for you?
Jake Browning plays good.
Okay.
That is a bold
Maybe
take.
it's a little-
Holy shit,
it's
hottest take of the week right here.
Maybe a closer game than we're expecting. Okay. I don't mind that. All right. Last game in the afternoon slate here, we have the Jersey matchup of all time, frankly. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their away creamsicles against the Seattle Seahawks in their 70s retros. Really cool uniform matchup here. And I'm going to take the team that is less injured and has a better defense right now in the Seattle Seahawks. Both teams are playing good football, I think, but the Bucks, again, much less healthy. They struggled last week, especially in the first half. And I don't think the Seahawks defense, rather, is a team that you want to get down a lot early. Whereas the Eagles, you could claw your way back because they don't really do much.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Seahawks here as well. Although I will say one of my favorite bets of the week for this whole slate is the Buccaneers plus 11.5. This game is still going to be close regardless of the injuries that the Buccaneers have faced. And I think that Baker Mayfield is going to keep it a close game. We saw him just go toe-to-toe with the Eagles and had them he had them like down to the wire. So I think that they're going to continue to play the Seahawks tough as well. And we can expect a good game out of him. And so, plus 11.5 is a very fair bet for the Bucks. I doubt that the Seahawks are going to win by 12.
No, yeah, 11.5 is definitely favorable.
Yeah, I'm picking Seattle here. You talked about the defense and whatnot, but I think JSN is going to have a good game as well. Just clearly the receiver one in that room. Cup has been fine and whatnot, but JSN has been on a tear.
JSN, arguably like receiver 3 in the NFL right now. It's not just receiver 1 in that
crazy.
team. Yeah.
No, he's been crazy.
Keenan Allen is arguably the best receiver in the NFL right now.
No, that's definitely Puka.
Yeah.
But JSN is up there.
Okay.
It's been fun to watch. Seattle is a team that's definitely surprising, right? I didn't expect them to be this good.
Yeah, when both sides are clicking, that's what happens. All right, Sunday Night Football. We got the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. Jacob.
Give me the New England Patriots to get their shit rocked by the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be an ass whooping for the ages. I think the Bills are going to go in there and they're going to take Drake May and say, listen, buddy, you're not that guy quite yet. And they're going to beat him handily by the score of 31-27.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
an ass beating
That
for
is
sure.
an
Yeah.
ass beating. If I've
I
ever seen
was
it.
I was just about to say I totally disagree with the ass beating thing. Just because the Bills are not the team that they were 3 years ago, where they just put up 50 on you and you better catch up kind of thing. They're playing more sound football,
Right.
and I think that makes them much more deadly. But they play teams closer. You know, they haven't really fully destroyed anyone this year
The
like they have in the
Jets.
past.
The Jets. Let's be real. They destroyed the
Okay,
Jets.
but man, come on, fuck the Jets, bro. And another thing, and fuck the Jets. I mean, seriously.
They
Oh.
destroyed
And-
the Jets while doing nothing. Josh
They-
Allen threw for less than 120
He did.
yards.
And about that, do the Bills only play at home? Like, what is this?
They start the year like the first 7 games, 5 of them are at home. It's pretty crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So the first 6 they have 4 at home, which is tough because down the stretch you have more stretches where you have 2 away games. So road, bye week, road,
The last
road,
2
road,
away games
road,
at home.
road. Yeah, it's tough.
Man, fuck these guys, bro. They have 17 home games.
You have to remember too,
But anyways,
that the AFC has the home game advantage this season. They get the extra home game.
well, anyways, I am going with the Bills, obviously, but watch out for James Cook, man, because he's having a quiet, phenomenal season.
Mm-hmm.
He's
It's
the
not
type of
very
running back that I
quiet. He's
like,
kind of just cooking the whole NFL.
but nobody's talking about it nearly enough. I mean, he's a running back that I love watching, and you're never gonna hear me say this again
feel
about
like-
a Bills player.
yeah.
So I'll cut that out. But he has
I feel like
incredible
James
vision.
Cook is definitely getting like '1 running back consensus right now.
No,
I don't think
it's
so.
JT, bro.
I really don't think so.
It's
Jonathan
JT, bro.
Taylor's getting more buzz. I'd even say Barkley still gets more buzz. And Barkley hasn't been very good this year. He's been good, but
Man, James Cook is not even the best running back in the division. Alas. He has phenomenal vision, and it's maybe not a lost art. I don't think that's the best way to say it, but he clearly plays. He's maybe the closest thing to how prime Le'Veon Bell played. He's not prime Le'Veon Bell, but the
I don't know if
closest
I
thing
agree
to
with
how they played.
that. I don't think I
if you
agree.
You're
watch-
saying James Cook is like Le'Veon Bell?
No,
I don't
dude, no,
agree.
dude. That's clearly not what I said. That's clearly
You
not
just
what I
said if you see how they
No.
if you watch how he plays, he looks like prime
play
Le'Veon Bell.
style. Yes,
I
play style. He's
disagree.
very patient.
I disagree.
James
No,
Cook is
he's
very
nothing
patient,
like
man.
He's
Le'Veon
not.
Bell. Le'Veon Bell was slow, methodical, was bouncing side to side, looking for holes. That dude did not just hit the hole and run 100 miles an hour like James Cook.
I don't think James
Cook is more explosive.
James Cook is way more explosive, and he's not very
More
patient.
explosive.
He is not patient like you're describing. He hits the hole.
I think he is.
No.
He looks for holes. He doesn't
He might
shoot
look
off the
for
gap
holes.
immediately.
He might look for holes, but that is not what Le'Veon Bell was at all. Le'Veon Bell would stand there
Okay,
in the
well,
backfield
then
for
let
5
me-
seconds, waiting for a hole to develop, and then go.
Okay.
Yep, most patient.
He's not
running
like
back
that.
of all time.
Yeah.
Yes. James Cook is not like this, but to me, he clearly has top 3 vision in the NFL right now.
No,
And
his vision's
patience.
great. No, not patience. Vision, yes. Patience, no.
You cannot tell me there's 3 running backs more patient than James Cook right now.
I can't tell you right
Yes,
now
there
off the top
are.
of my
Alvin
head, but
Kamara,
I
Christian
definitely
McCaffrey and Jameer Gibbs.
there are. Okay, there you go. He just named him off his
Jameer
head.
Gibbs, who else?
Christian
Alvin
McCaffrey,
Kamara,
Alvin
Christian
Kamara.
McCaffrey, both of them are way more patient. Way more patient.
I don't get that feeling
James
by
Cook
watching
is
them,
not
but listen.
James Cook is not in a top percentile for
Bijan
patience.
Robinson is more patient. than
Honestly, you
James
know what?
Cook.
You know what? You guys are right. Fuck the Bills and any Bills player. So forget anything I said.
Great.
How about
Excellent.
that?
Yes, we can move on.
Beautiful.
No,
And
but-
another thing I wanted to say about the Tampa game. I forgot to say one thing about the Tampa game. The creamsicles are overrated.
oh
Okay,
my
move on.
God, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Just because they're another Florida team, you don't have to.
No, they're
spewing
overrated. And the
blasphemy.
logo too. And the
No,
logo too.
Jacob.
Dude,
What
he's
are
a
we
hating
listening to?
motherfucker.
The logo too. The logo as well.
Is that because Buccaneers poach dolphins from the sea?
No,
Is there something else
Maybe.
going on here?
maybe, but the current logo is clearly better. Like, I just want to say that.
Oh, well, I mean, you're comparing elite to elite, in my opinion. I think both are great. All right. Well, last but not least,
Which ones did you say were clearly better?
their primary.
The
logo.
current logo is better. The current logo is better.
Yeah, I mean those are both just amazing uniforms, but the creamsicles are on top, dude. The old school Bucks logo is hard. Actually, you want to know what's a goated logo that nobody wants to talk about, but was so good back in the day? You
He's
want
gonna
to know
say
what
the
was
most
so
mid
fucking
logo.
good?
He's gonna say the most
The
mid
old
logo.
school like retro 2005 US or UCF Knights logo. That logo goes so hard.
Let's see it.
2005 UCF Knights logo.
Top, yeah, that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's all right.
I don't like the
It's all
Knights
right.
at the bottom, but that's pretty good. That's a good logo.
It should have been just the
It
guy.
just
No writing, just the
Yeah,
guy.
you could
That's it,
argue
just
that
the
too,
guy.
just the guy. But I don't
Just
mind
the guy. That's
UC
it.
I don't mind UCF. The Knights needs to go.
But it's good. It's good. But it's good.
look up like the 2005 Wake Forest logo, the old Demon Deacon logo. I fucks with that one
Have
heavy.
we looked this
It's
one up
not
before? Yeah, we've looked this one up before.
Nah, that's
yeah,
hard. That's
this
hard.
guy.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's got Celtics vibes, you know.
That's
It's
hard.
just got I'm gonna fuck you up vibes. Yeah.
Mollywop them.
Well, send us
Right.
off to Monday night.
Yeah, Monday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The
game, dude.
Jaguars are playing well. They'd be 4-0 if they didn't fucking choke that game against the Bengals. But you know the Chiefs might be getting going here as well. They're heating up, so this could be a real thriller. I've got the
It's the
Jacksonville
game of the week.
Jaguars by like a field goal here. I trust in their defense more right now. Devin Lloyd is on a tear. Aluakun's on a tear right next to him as well. Trevon Walker is playing really inspired football. Yeah, so give me them by a field goal. Travis Etienne, light up the stat sheet too. I'm here for it.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is game of the
I'm
week. Yeah, go ahead.
I I also would say this is probably game of the week, either this or Washington versus LA. But I think that the pick to make is probably the Chiefs, just based off of prior history. But fuck that. I hate the Chiefs.
I was
Give me the
waiting. I was
Jaguars.
waiting. Okay. All right. All right. I was waiting. I was like, no, you're not
Give me the
picking the
Jags.
Chiefs. You are not
No.
picking the Chiefs.
No.
Okay. Well, I am. I'm lone wolfing the Chiefs. Didn't I lone wolf the Chiefs like last week or 2 weeks ago? And
I
won
picked the
or
Chiefs
something?
against the Ravens as well,
Okay.
and I
Alright,
picked them
so-
against the.
But I'm lone wolfing them.
What you're misremembering? What you're misremembering is when Jacob and I said that there was an avenue for the Giants to win, and it's if Russ did the exact same thing he did in Week 2. But all three of us
That's what
picked
it
the
was.
Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that no? Maybe it was a Ravens game. Regardless, I wasn't too
I
sure.
picked
That's
the
why I
Ravens.
asked.
Yeah, Jacob picked.
But
the
I am lone wolfing the Chiefs here.
close one.
Super tight. You guys said it. Very close. Very 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 close game. I like a lot how the Jags have been playing. Especially Travis Etienne. He's kind of making sure everyone remembers how good he is, and maybe the passing game is tuning up a little bit, right? Because it couldn't have gone worse, right? It was horrible. So it's getting better, but the Chiefs are also heating up, and Xavier Worthy clearly makes a difference in that offense. Yeah, going with the Chiefs here. Very close game.
Very cool.
Shout out Xavier Worthy.
Well, those were our picks for Week 5 NFL. Let us know who's going to win in your opinion, and tell us how we're all idiots, or tell us how we're all smart and gorgeous and whatever. Any kind
Or
of engagement
smart
is
idiots.
appreciated. Yeah. All right. So Vitor, we have a few minutes for your game here. So let's talk about. Is it even really a game? I think it's more of like an exercise, right? But regardless,
It's kind of like a quiz / exercise. Do you want me to share my screen,
sure.
or I was just sending you the link?
No,
I think
you
that
can
works,
share.
too.
You can share your screen. That's fine. Is it?
Okay.
Are the visuals going to be required here, or
It's better. It's better. I'll share it to you because it's better.
okay? Well, I'm just.
for sure better.
I'm thinking about the episode itself. For
Right.
Recording.
So yeah, that's why I'm mentioning it, because I think it's better to include
Oh,
it.
not Edge. God damn it. Ugh, so annoying. Copy link. Oh! Requesting access.
I'm so nice. I'm giving you editor access. How about that?
Oh, I'm gonna fuck up this fucking spreadsheet. Let's go. Yes.
It's pretty basic. It's nothing crazy to it. Yeah, refresher. You should have it.
There we go. Coast to coast GMing. All right.
Yeah, so that's exactly what
So
this
let
is.
me pull up the screen recorder real quick.
Yep.
Okay, you're good to go.
So yeah, this is exactly what this is. Coast to coast GMing. You can go to the next slide.
Okay.
So basically, and I'm gonna be reading off the slide here. We're gonna be drafting between 4 different players across 5 different positions. Okay. And each position, I'm gonna list the traits and their ratings according to those traits. So basically, we're just evaluating the players and saying what player we prefer.
So it's purely blind for Jacob and I. We're just going based off of the traits that we value more. Whereas for you, you know
Yeah.
who the players are. And this is your opinion on these.
No,
players.
I don't know. No. I don't know who these players are. They don't have names.
Oh, okay. So these are
Like they're out of college, we're GMs, and we're like, okay, this is the guy I want.
Okay,
kinda
so
thing.
it's not a
No, they're not
Patrick
actual
versus
players.
Lamar. Okay, gotcha.
No. This is just purely evaluating traits. Nothing predicting. Nothing. None of that.
Okay. So
Okay. So let's just
Okay.
get right into it. So we're getting into quarterbacks. We have 4 quarterbacks here. The traits are mechanics, arm talent, awareness, footwork, clutch, and running ability.
and we don't have to go through every single one because it's going to be up as a visual aid already for the video.
Yeah.
We could just talk.
Yeah, exactly.
About,
So we can just kind of start talking about it and yeah,
Okay.
What does
off you guys
RA
go.
mean?
rushing ability?
running ability. Yeah.
What's immediately jumping out to me, which is pretty wild, is quarterback 4 has a 9 out of 10 mechanics, 9 out of 10 footwork, but 2 out of 10 rushing ability. That seems very and you said it's not
Tom
based on real
Brady.
players, but it is there is a very specific breed of player, right, that fits into that category. And not
Has good arm talent too, but needs to work on pocket awareness. Could be a Jared Goff.
yeah, I can see that. Look, the most I would say consistent across the board here is quarterback 1. He's got an 8 out of 10
Quarterback 1 is the
mechanics.
most consistent, I agree.
And the arm talent is also equivalent to quarterback 4 there. The clutch is just a little bit worse, but I can manage above average clutch still, right? But you also get the upgrade of an average rushing ability. So that way the play isn't dead when there is pressure. They can still move around and still above average
Right.
footwork. The awareness still scares me there. But that is probably the most consistently decent option there.
Would you guys
Okay.
say that QB2 resembles Jordan Love?
Certainly
Mechanics, arm
mechanics-wise,
talent, awareness.
but I'd say Jordan Love has.
I don't know
worse
about
mechanics.
clutch.
And
I don't
not
know about the
not as
clutch.
clutch either. Well, okay, Jacob.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking out of these 4 quarterbacks. I'm taking quarterback 3.
Okay, why?
Quarterback 3. So we have mechanics 7, arm talent 5.
Because running ability being a 7 is another element in your playbook. Like that means that you can do quarterback designed runs. Like
Okay.
that is a good enough level quarterback
Very good awareness.
do quarterback designed runs. Very good awareness too, so you could have a very effective RPO scheme. This could be like a what we expected Trey Lance to be. Obviously Trey Lance had more arm talent than 5, but you don't really need a whole lot of arm talent as long as you have good mechanics and footwork, which he already has. So maybe we're looking at like a prime Ryan Tannehill for when Tannehill led the Titans to the AFC Championship game. I think that could be what this kind of player is like.
Clutch, not a big
For
concern
clutch,
for you?
though, yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Honestly, that just means it's more Ryan Tannehill. But
Yeah. I mean,
Tannehill guy.
So the assumption then, I suppose, with the 4 out of 10 clutch, but
Ryan Tannehill.
a good breed of quarterback is you're not probably going to be playing down too much, so maybe you sacrifice a little bit of clutch ability. But that is a strong assumption, right? Heavy assumption. Are we building a team here? Is that our goal? So we're going to be able to build complementary
it's not.
players, or-
But if you want to go off of that, it could make it more interesting. If you want to do that,
Are we going to do every position?
Well, no, we have 5 positions. We have quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, and corner.
Okay, so yeah, that's kind of like a mini team. Okay, so we're basically doing a draft style thing. Yeah, I'm taking QB3.
Vitor, who would you take
Okay.
here as the creator of the game?
I think you guys didn't talk about QB2 nearly enough.
The
By the way, they
problem,
all have the same amount of rating points.
yeah,
If
yeah,
that wasn't
5
clear.
out of 10 mechanics is really rough.
yeah. Mechanics is an important trait for me, but everything else I really like. Is it just the problem? Especially when you compare the discrepancy here, right? So quarterback 2 is a 5 out
Yeah.
of 10 mechanics. The next lowest is quarterback 3 with 7 out of 10. That is a fairly above average mechanics.
Yeah.
Now the
Yeah.
5 out of 10 still is just okay. They're average mechanics,
Yeah.
at least for my scale. Is that an accurate
No,
read
it's
on your guys' scale
yeah. I
too?
think it's fair.
Where 5 is
I think it's
average,
fair.
or 5 is the mean,
No, I think it's
rather.
5 is probably the mean. I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Then 6 is like slightly above average. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we have the similar scale.
Well,
Mechanics at 9 out of 10 is
so
great for quarterback 4, just no rushing ability. And that's tough.
yeah.
But if you have just a pure pocket passer that still has solid footwork, and obviously that goes hand in hand with mechanics here, and is still quite clutch, he's going to get the ball out quick enough to where
Yeah.
the rushing ability is not too big of a problem. I do love a
If
mobile quarterback, though. 2 is pretty
if
much
I have
mobile.
a strong offensive line, I'm picking 4 very fast. I'm not really
And
thinking about it too much.
that would fit with Jared Goff, right? Like what we were just
Right.
talking about. So
Right, exactly. But if I'm kind of like picking a quarterback to start a team, and I'm not really sure on my O-line yet, I'm going with 1. I think 1 gives you kind of the best of everything.
yeah, that's where I'm going as well. It's still very good mechanics. The awareness and rushing ability could leave more to be desired there, but still a solid clutch ability. Still can make most throws in the league. So yeah, quarterback
Okay.
1 is my pick as well.
All right.
Quarterback
all right.
1 is just Kirk Cousins.
I like Kirk Cousins.
All right, running backs up next.
And for the record, I try to make everything as spread out as possible to really evaluate everything. I try to, yeah, that's it. Anyways, we're on to running backs, and the traits are vision, speed, agility, receiving, blocking, and strength.
This is kind of a tough one. The way that you've balanced some of these traits out it makes them tough to compare to any real life player, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
Running back 1 jumps out to me again. I do love a good vision running back, but they still are very still.
I was gonna say my highest priority trait is vision, but the problem is the rest of his skills are really low.
Well, they're not. I wouldn't say really low. The strength definitely should be higher, ideally. Agility, not too agile, but still solid speed, I think. And the receiving ability still solid.
And he's a good receiving
I
option.
probably
He's a good
care
receiving
the
option.
least about blocking because thinking about an entire offense, I can get other people to block as opposed to the running back. So that's probably my least value category.
Right.
Therefore, running back 2 isn't very attractive to me, though the strength is great. Yeah, vision is just so important, and he's still not slow, right? So he's got elite vision basically and very good speed. Running back 1 might be my pick.
Yeah, I think it's got to be either RB1 or RB4
Yeah.
because 9 out of 10 receiving
Oh
is extremely valuable. Well, what the fuck, Broofy? Come on.
no, that was yeah, that was Broofy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, totally,
Yeah, come
totally.
on, graphics guy. Okay. I think receiving 9 out of 10 is extremely valuable. Agility 7 out of 10 is a bit better than RB1. Speed 8 out of 10 is just under elite. Your vision being a 6 out of 10 is still very, very solid. So you're going to be hitting holes. You're going to have good routes, which is extremely important. Because if you have good routes, you have such an element of your game opened up that your vision can be a little bit lower for me as long as because he's carried by his speed, his agility, his routes, all that, to the point where I'm okay with his vision being only a 6 out of 10 instead of saying 9 out of 10. Because even though he's not going to be hitting the holes as good as RB1 is, he's going to have such good routes and other things like that are going to open up his potential.
It's kind of
That
like
being said, I'm still taking RB1.
it's kind of Austin Eckler-esque running back 4.
Yeah, Austin Eckler-esque for sure. Um, who would be another one like that?
I think I like running back 3 a little bit. He's very explosive. If he's on the open field, he's extremely
Yeah,
deadly.
and the
9-10
vision,
speed, 9-10 agility.
vision is 5 out of 10. That's okay.
It's okay, vision.
But it's not the best, not the weakest in receiving. Running back 2 is the weakest in receiving. Like I said,
Also the
running back
second
2 is
strongest.
clearly the worst here. That's a glorified fullback in my opinion. He is
Okay.
the second strongest too. I think you're getting away with a good player if you pick running back 1, 3, and 4. 2 is not attractive at all to me.
I probably agree with you. I think they all have their own niche schemes. Um, Honestly, I'm probably picking 3. I think he has the highest upside.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking
As much as I love Vision and I keep talking about it, I think he has the highest upside there.
for this
Well, yeah, RB3 is just Devon Achane, so no wonder you're picking RB3.
Maybe that's why.
for the sake of picking someone different as opposed to stacking up like I did on quarterback. I'm going to take running back 4 here. You guys took running backs 1 and 3.
Okay.
All
Fair
right.
enough.
Receiver up next. Immediately, right wide receiver 4 jumps out for 9 out of 10 hands. That's elite hands. Immediately,
Yes.
receiver 1 bothers me because he has just above average hands. He's probably dropping 5 or 6 balls throughout a season. Don't want that.
Yeah, but he's also extremely open, has good separation, has great speed. I'm taking wide receiver 1 for sure. For sure.
I think you can get away with lesser separation if you have elite hands. Therefore, hands
Yeah,
for
but
me,
his size is only 6 out of 10.
receiver 1 size is 4 out of 10.
Yeah, but he's gonna get open. He'll have separation. So
Receiver 4 is
the
still
contested stuff. I'm telling you, man, wide receiver 1's better because he'll be open more. You're gonna have contested catches you'll have to take.
the route running is only marginally worse. The speed is a lot worse. That's a problem for sure. He's bigger though, and his separation is only marginally worse as well. I'd say a jump from 6 to 8. 6 is a little above average. Not great. 8 is pretty damn good. 9 would be great or elite, I think. Yeah, I immediately with the hands, I kind of fell in love with receiver 4. I haven't even looked at the other guys yet. Receiver 2 is out for me, despite the good hands.
5 out of 10 speed is too slow.
5 out of 10 speed and size. That's just kind of a tough frame to deal with. Because
Kind of like a glorified tight end, right?
if you're gonna no,
But no size.
yeah,
So
exactly,
weird, right?
exactly, no size. If you're
So
going to
weird,
be,
yeah.
if you're gonna not be fast, I need you to be big.
Is
And
this Lad McConkey wide receiver 2, bro?
he's pretty fast, isn't he? I don't think he's a 5 out of 10
I
speed.
guess. I get maybe like a
Ryan
7.
McConkey
Right?
was like a 4.5 speed.
Yeah, so he's not slow at all.
What is our most important trait here, guys? What do you guys think?
I think separation.
Really, you guys are both in separation camp.
I think so.
I don't
Because-
know if separation is like Justin Jefferson's thing. Hands and release is Jamar Chase. If you had one that was 9 release, I'd probably pick the one with 9 release. Honestly, release is probably my favorite. But wide receiver 1 makes up for his bad release with his route running, separation, and speed. So it's kind of like a hit or miss kind of thing. You know
I'm
what
a
I mean?
I'm a big speed guy as well, just because it's so tough to game plan against. And maybe I'm biased because of Tyreek, but it just creates multiple problems for our defense. I agree with Anthony. The 6 out of 10 hands bothers me a little bit, but it's like that. Those are okay hands. He's just a big threat. I think. I'm between 1. I don't hate 3. I think 3 is pretty balanced. He's not gonna create a lot of separation, but very good size. He
This
has
could be
decent
Hollywood
speed.
Brown, but like a little bit better route running.
1 or
Number
3.
three?
3 is balanced, but like for quarterback, I care about balance, right? I need you to be very good at a lot for you to be my quarterback, right? For receiver, And same thing with running back. You know, it's about what your taste of what you want. So if you want a more of a receiving back, you're going to take the receiving back. If you want a bell cow guy that's going to hit the hole and hit it hard, you're going to take that guy. For my receiver, I like
Did
a
he just
receiver.
freeze again?
No,
No.
I'm here. Hello, hello.
That is so odd,
Hello?
man. It's out of the blue.
What?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. There's no way we're recording another episode tonight.
My ping is 72. Okay, there it goes. Fucking bitch. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he just. Yeah.
This is fucking pathetic.
I don't know what he was saying, but I was about to say the wide receiver 3 is kind of a. Well, you don't have the stream up, right?
I mean, I have his, yeah.
Oh, you have the stream up, okay. I was just about to say, I
Yeah.
think receiver 3 is kind of a glorified tight end. Big red zone threat, maybe.
My back.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back, Anthony.
Fucking stupid fucking fuck. Ugh. This is fucking stupid, man. So pissed off. Fucking earbud is still connected. I've disconnected it 3 times from my phone, and it's still connected. Ugh.
Earbud saga.
I don't even know. Hopefully I can download these later. Fuck. All right. Anyway, okay. Receivers. Yeah, my trait that I love is hands here. It's probably one of the most, if not the most important trait for me. I'll take just above average, a little bit above average in a lot of categories for elite hands. A reliable receiver there.
What do you think about receiver 3?
I caught what you said at the end there with it's kind of like a glorified tight end type, and I kind of agree with that. Obviously not a big route tree there, just average route running ability, but really great size and serviceable enough hands. And again, not a separator, so which is a little interesting given the 7 out of 10 speed, but it's okay. That's tough. That might be my second choice, despite the receiver 2's hands being very good, but 9 out of 10 hands, I got to take that.
Yeah. I think receiver 1 is my pick, I think. Jacob?
Yeah, I'm taking wide receiver 1.
Okay.
Okay. I think 4 is my second option, though, Anthony.
Linebacker up next.
I kept it to 5 traits for linebackers, those being pass coverage, range, processing, or IQ, or whatever, motor, and versatility.
So no tackling or anything like that. I think that would have been a very valuable category here.
That is true. That is true. I mean, if you guys want me to add that up, I can add that up
No,
really
it's
fast.
okay.
Then we look at
I don't know
corners
how much longer
while I
I'm
do
going to
that.
have. We got a really short leash.
No, that would take me like 2 minutes.
Okay,
And you guys
we'll
do
do
the corners.
we'll do corners then. We'll move to corners while you do that. Okay, so he's got 6 categories for corner: zone, man, instincts, ball skills, body control, and speed. Immediately jumping out to me, this cornerback 1 is obviously a zone corner. He's got good instincts and good speed and good zone coverage. So that screams, someone that fits perfectly in like a cover 3 defense or something like that. If that's your flavor, then that's the guy to take. There's also obviously a man coverage corner here as well, which has got great man coverage skills and great speed. I would love to see the man coverage corner though have better ball skills than it's just a 6 out of 10. So that's kind of, not too great. Jacob, any thoughts?
So I'm a little confused on the impact of body control, given that we have zone and man coverage, because like your ability to cover someone is your body control. So
It may,
having bad body
it might be a little redundant.
control that's what I'm saying, because like I want to take quarterback too, because everything seems fine, like great ball skills, good speed, above average man and zone coverage, which is what you want to see,
Yeah.
and decent instincts. but he has bad body control, which means that his zone and man coverage clearly cannot be 7 out of 10. Like if his body control is only a 4 out of 10, then he does not have 7 out of 10 coverage. So I guess I'm just a little confused on what to go off of here.
I mean, I guess like he's more prone to having penalties. He's not as calm, I guess, under duress as the other corners.
Okay, so Alontae Taylor, I'll take cornerback too.
Yeah, cornerback 2 is pretty good, like you said, if you want that balance. Man, I love a lockdown man coverage corner though. I really do, and I think you can, that's the type of guy that you can put on an island by himself, and everyone else like it very reminiscent of like a cover 6 scheme or something like that, where you've got half of the field in man and half of the field in zone, and that can be very versatile. It can also not be. It can be very dangerous. It's a volatile type of coverage to be running a lot of the time. Just the only hang up is that he's a below average zone corner, whereas the elite zone corner is still at least an average man coverage corner. Speed is such an important trait too in this category, which is why cornerback 2 is also very attractive here. Just to be different, because I don't want to take the same one as you, I'm going to take corner 3 because he still has the traits that I really like. I love good man coverage, and I love great speed for my corners. And the ball skills, it's not an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 like cornerback 4 has, who's a ball hawk but not very good in coverage. It's still above average, better than corner 1. So, and I think
I
the 5 out of 10 versus 6 out of 10 ball skills might be the difference in like forcing a couple of PBUs each week in a contested situation, or not each week, each season rather.
Right.
Okay, corners are done, or linebackers are done. For corners, I like 4 a lot. He's kind of a ball hawk. Not with the best instincts, but if he sees the ball, he can actually go up and grab it. Decent speed. 1 bothers me kind of a little bit because 4 speed is, I like a corner with good zone and good instincts, but 4 speed is kind of a little traumatizing for me. And then 3 is just not as versatile, so I'm probably sticking with 2 here.
Yep. I think 2 is probably the best option. But I'm taking 3, because why not?
Cool.
All right. Linebackers now.
Because I picked
I think
2.
3 has the highest upside. How about that?
Yeah, upside is pretty good. Yeah.
Did an update for you?
Linebackers.
Okay. There we go.
There you go.
All right. So now we've added tackling per my
I adjusted the
request.
points accordingly, so everything is the same.
And
But I adjusted everything.
right off the bat, because we did that, linebacker 4 and 2 looking really nice, looking really attractive with that tackling ability. I don't want a below average tackler as my linebacker.
I was gonna say put 4 strong aside and just let him work.
Yeah, super high motor, which is great.
6 out of 10 processing, though?
It's still above average processing. It's not great by any means, but I love the assuredness that we're going to be making a play. And if there's a runner in his lane, more likely than not, with his motor and his tackling, he's going to tackle that person. So I really like that. And linebacker 2 is the other person that I was thinking of, because they also have pretty good tackling, and but they have no motor. Well, they have a 5 out of 10 motor, but that's not very good. That's just okay, right? And their processing is even weaker than linebacker 4's. So they have great range and great tackling, which makes them super attractive, but no motor, no processing. Whereas linebacker 4 again has an elite motor. So I'm between those two.
And
I understand
linebacker
you
3
guys.
is useless. Linebacker 3 is useless because he can't tackle.
Dude.
He has no range, so he's limited in the space that he can be in, and the space that he's in. Even if he predicts the right spot, he's probably not making the tackle.
Yeah, that's by far the
Okay,
worst
but
option.
9 9 out of 10 coverage doesn't interest whatsoever.
It's not.
No,
It's meaningless if he can't
keep
tackle.
speed.
Yeah.
No range.
Yep. Can't do that. Can't do it.
Dude's getting cooked on a crosser. On God, for real, for real.
Yeah.
I like one. You talked about 3 finding the right spot. 1 finds a spot even better and actually tackles and has range. Pass coverage is there.
He's still less versatile than linebackers 2 and 4, though. Don't love that. He's a worse tackler than linebackers 2 and 4, though. The one thing he's good at is processing, which I think is maybe my least valued position here, or least valued trait here. So yeah, I'm not a fan of linebacker 1 either. It's 2 or 4 for me. I'll take whichever one Jacob doesn't take.
I'm
I like
taking
1.
4. Sorry.
You're taking 4? Okay. I'll take 2 then. That's all right. I love the 9 out of 10 motor. Love that. But
Yeah,
I get
it's
I
attractive for sure.
have better pass coverage than you now too, so that helps as
And
well.
range.
Yeah, much better range. Okay, yeah.
I got off-brand Micah Parsons though. A little less versatile, but he's there. He's there.
All right.
I thought those were the easiest positions to do because if I do OT, then with use of hands, footwork, yada yada
Oh
yada
yeah,
yada.
that was good, and that was a fun little exercise.
I liked it.
Yeah, thank you for setting that up.
Of course.
Do we want to give brief? I led with the baseball thing, and we didn't talk very much baseball at all. Do we want to just real quick give our predictions for the postseason? One team has already advanced at the time of recording this, but
Shocker.
yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't even matter if we're recording it after the fact because it's kind of just everyone knew that it would happen, right?
Yeah, so this was the graphic that I pulled up before we started recording, of course. The LA Dodgers have advanced at this point, but this does not reflect that. So they will be playing the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah. Who do we think is winning the World Series? Who's got the best shot? Who are we rooting for? All that stuff.
I don't know. I just see the Dodgers winning it again.
I want it to be Padres versus the Mariners.
Well, you got one half of mine.
That'd be cool.
I'm rooting for the Mariners as well to win, not just win, World Series would be awesome, but to just win a playoff series. You got the first round bye, you got your extra rested for your pitchers. Sometimes it's a bad thing. So hopefully it doesn't bite them. But my other half is going to be the Milwaukee Brewers. I've been calling it for years now.
I like the Brewers too.
For 5 years, I've said the Brewers, this is their year, this is their year, this is their year. And in a year where it's ooh, their roster's a little bit weaker, are they going to be able to do it? No, they secured the 1 seed, guys. So this is the year that the Brewers do it. Brewers over the Mariners in the World Series.
That's also the one I want to see. I want to see the Mariners against the Brewers, and I want the Mariners to win it. But if I had to predict it, I think the Dodgers are going to win it.
Boo! Boo!
Yeah, I'm predicting it.
Would you
The
rather?
Dodgers are not making it past Philadelphia, dude.
Would you rather be cool or right? Let's be real here. I'd rather be cool.
I'd rather be cool, but I told you I want the Mariners to win it.
You got to pick them to win it.
Don't get me wrong, please. Okay, you know what? Mariners are going to win the World Series. How about that?
Fun fact, no 100 win teams this year. Is that a little surprising to us?
Oh yeah, dude. The amount of people who were betting Dodgers over 100 wins. Guys, Dodgers over 100 wins was minus 700 to start the year.
That's
That's
so crazy,
hilarious. I would have taken the under for sure for that.
Speaking
that
of
kind
the
of
Dodgers,
numbers.
Shohei is set to make his postseason pitching debut in their next game.
Oh, phooey.
Get
He's going to get rocked.
it? Because the Angels never got to the postseason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. I hope he gets rocked. His days as a pitcher are over soon. Not yet, but soon.
Soon.
Soon. He's going to transition
Dude, it would
fully
be
to
so
DH.
hard. It'd be so hard if Stottenheimer went up there and hit a grand slam off of him while his walk-up song blasted and Philly was singing it.
Did you call him Stottenheimer?
Yeah, Stottenheimer.
Honestly, there's no good scenario for the series. Either the Phillies advance or the Dodgers advance, and I hate both of them.
I'd rather see the Phillies.
You've never heard Bryson Stott get called Stottenheimer?
No. My man,
Dude,
my
that's
man,
such a banging nickname.
my man. We know on this podcast, we know where Bryson, we know his alum, okay? We know. That does not mean I've never heard him be called Stottenheimer, because I haven't. I don't know if anything I just said made any sense, but we're rolling with it.
I don't know where Stottenheimer played.
What are you talking about? Isn't he the one who played at Wichita State?
No, that was Alec Boehm.
Oh, fuck. No, nothing I said made sense. Literally 0% of what I just said made sense. Fuck.
Oh no!
You know, that is a cue to end the episode there. I'm
The
out of
episode.
sorts. Vitor, let's hear the coastal call.
Yeah, thanks to all our beautiful listeners who are clearly better looking than all three of us combined. I think we had a good episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Please share. Please like, subscribe. Tell me I'm the most handsome of this podcast. I need the ego. Yeah, thanks for listening.